Just more evidence against them. May 2, 2019 by Anna von Reitz. As we have endlessly discussed on this blog, there are three kinds of citizenship available to us. We can be American state citizens and live as Minnesotans, Floridians, etc., and support our respective state governments as jurors, justices, peacekeeping sheriffs, and so on. We can be United States citizens, that is, administrative and military employees or dependents of the territorial government. We can be citizens of the United States, that is, the municipal, civil government of the United States, their employees and dependents, etc. This is never explained to us directly and forthrightly in schools getting federal funding, for the obvious reason that if we choose to live on the land and soil jurisdiction of the actual states of the Union, it cuts down tax revenues. What we basically have is a giant racketeering scheme. Both the territorial and the municipal government corporations claim that we are citizens belonging to their organizations, so that both can tax us. If we claim, mistakenly, to be United States citizens, they prosecute us using the municipal courts. If we claim, even more mistakenly, to be United States citizens, they prosecute us using the territorial courts. To further confuse the issues, we have municipal officers, like William P. Barr, occupying territorial offices, like the office of the United States Attorney General. This allows him or any other federal official to wear two hats, just like the description of what the state legislatures and U.S. Congress are doing. And we, having been left in the dark our whole lives, never realize that we are not any kind of federal citizen, and that there is a third option, that we are naturally owed and are heir to American citizenship, as one of the citizens of the states of the Union. Much of my work has been to bring this to everyone's attention and to encourage as many Americans as possible to wake up and reclaim your natural birthright political estate and get organized to operate your actual, factual state of the Union, instead of being dependent on and at the mercy of foreign service providers and their out-of-control alphabet soup agencies. It all hinges on, whose citizen are you? We have to be able to stand there and say with absolute certainty, and the paperwork on record to prove it, Minnesota citizen, or Illinois citizen, or Montana citizen. People who bother to secure their certified birth certificates and their two witness testimonies affirming that they are the living man or woman whose physical birth details are noted on the birth certificate have evidence of non-consensual and unconscionable contracts being presumed against them as mere babies in their cradles. Such contracts are totally illegal, immoral, and unlawful and not due any kind of presumption or enforcement. People who took the extra step to have a state-certified birth certificate authenticated by the United States Secretary of State have proof that they are owed the Geneva Conventions, not the Hague Conventions, under international law. These two things taken together are absolute proof in any court in America that you have suffered illegal, immoral, and unlawful conscription, and that you are in fact a state national with the option of acting as a state citizen upon reaching age of majority, for our states, that's 21. If you additionally completed and recorded the paperwork we developed and published as part of Article 928 on my website, www.annavonreitz.com, and which is available on www.paperupnow.com, you have even more evidence as proof that you have been misidentified and that you have taken steps to correct this, up to and including expatriating from any presumed U.S. citizen status and serving public notice of it to the authorities responsible. And who are the authorities responsible? It turns out that it all comes down to the United States District Court and no other. The state courts can't deal with us as Americans at all. That lies outside their scope as local franchises of the federal corporations. We are, in terms of international law, foreign sovereigns with respect to the federal government workers, either territorial or municipal, because we occupy a completely different jurisdiction of the law, land law. We act as lawful persons. They act as legal persons. And here is just more confirmation that all of this is true, factual, reliable, and important for all Americans, including federal employees and dependents, IRS officers, for example, to know. United States v. Slater, 545 F. Sup. 179, 1982. Unless the defendant can establish that he is not a citizen of the United States, the IRS possesses authority to attempt to determine his federal tax liability. Please note that, as we have always said, only federal citizens are liable to pay federal income taxes and only federal citizens can be presumed to have federal income. What is federal income? Well, the Supreme Court danced around this question and described it instead of defining it. The learned justices described such income as profit separated from capital, which it is, but they fell short of stating the obvious, that a federal income tax is a corporate tax on federal income received by federally chartered corporations, by their federal employees and their federal dependents. It has nothing whatsoever to do with us and never did. So when you see your name in all capital letters, you will know that you are looking at a federal corporation being operated in your name and nothing else. This person doesn't really exist, but they presume that you accepted their offer of a franchise and that obligates you to operate as a citizen of the United States. But wait a minute. This person doesn't actually exist, and if it does, you have already sent its birth certificate back to the Secretary of the Treasury, so that makes it his problem, not yours. You can demand to see the details of your alleged federal citizen, name, address, job description, supervisor, etc., and proof of federal income received by this person. This will really startle the IRS, because nobody ever asks and they never have to present all the falsified records related to your account. Now, what are they, and you, going to say when they have to reveal that your name is, as in my case and maybe yours, the manager of a rum distillery in Barbados? Are you going to stand there like I did and spurt, "What in the name of the living God does this have to do with me?" A great-grandma from Big Lake, Alaska, who has provably never even visited Barbados?